Hello everybody, exciting week of course, it's Champions League week. Even that kid over there is very excited, I don't know if you can hear him. Now, there's so much going on and so much content in the YouTube channel this week because you deserve it. And because I had a lot of fun talking to Pochettino, to Klopp, to Andy Robertson. I spoke to Raphael Honigstein as well, who of course wrote the biography of Jurgen Klopp. Anyway, all that will be in the YouTube channel during the week, and I hope you enjoy that. But first is Ask Guillem. So let me, no, it's not a taxi waiting for me, but I should be going soon. Starting with Rana Alamgir. He says, any update on Jovic to Real Madrid? It was published in the Spanish press, in my paper actually, that it was all done. And I was told at the time that it wasn't, that there's still 20 million euros difference between what Real Madrid is offering, which is about 60 million, and what Eintracht Frankfurt want, which is 80 million. And they want to play cool, Eintracht Frankfurt, because there'll be other clubs that may be interested. We said of the interest of Barcelona in the past, but they don't want to rush it, they want to get close to the 80 million. So we may have to wait on that a little bit longer. This is an interesting one. As we head into the celebrations of the Manchester United 99 treble, how do you compare the Manchester United treble side versus Pep's Barcelona triple winners? I hadn't thought about that before. I'd say for Manchester United it was the perfect storm in many ways. As we know, there was not many people that were giving Manchester United hopes at the beginning of the season because of the mixture of veterans and youngsters that it was being put through the team. If you think of the final, the Champions League final, it was a final won down to the spirit, the confidence, the faith. But Bayern Munich could have won it too. So it was a typical cup game, if you like, from that point of view. I know the get to Barcelona also needed comebacks and it needed to stretch the team to the maximum. Pep Guardiola's team, on the other hand, was different. In my eyes, it was a style that was out of fashion, that was introduced with the idea of winning, and they won with it. So it went against the tide a little bit. And it created history. It reached levels of beauty as well as effectiveness that we hadn't seen before. They won absolutely everything in 12 months. So they both have got their own, their own positives, of course. Both of them historical, both of them memorable, and that is so important. If I actually ask you quickly, tell me the 3 or 4 Champions League finals that you remember, I'm sure in a couple of them you'll have Manchester United and you'll have Barcelona, and probably those two ones. The ones, the 2000, let's say the second Champions League against Manchester United, that probably was the most dominating Champions League we've seen in a long while. And in terms of both the style and yeah, the domination in the game. And then 99. I'm sure there will be in your mind those, plus Istanbul, of course. Spanish paper says Stephen McBride that Griezmann to Barcelona is off, and it's just to the rumour. It's not off. Has cooled down, yes. But why? Because his buyer clause goes to 120 million on the 1st of July. What would be the point of actually doing anything about it now? So be patient. He doesn't leave Atletico Madrid with nothing in his hands. I still think Barcelona are favourites, but I do know that they will try to play cool for a while. So, we'll see. Bounce BK Marsh, as a name, says, who's the most realistic candidate to the managerial post at Juventus? I've been seeing Pep, Zidane, Sarri being linked to the job. Zidane, forget it. Pep, honestly, it would be interesting to find out where the stories about Pep going to Juventus come from, including the dates, the announcement on the 4th of June and the presentation on the 14th of July, even a press agency telling the story. When all those stories have got so much detail, including a 4-year deal, in my eyes it suggests, number one, that the club is behind it, Juventus, for whatever reason. The value of the shares have gone up 5%, maybe that's the reason. Meanwhile, I don't think they've got nothing confirmed yet in terms of managers, so I don't know, is it to try to distract the attention? Whatever the reason, there's a lot of detail on this one, and there's a lot of people putting the weight on it. So of course, at that point, I started making calls. 10 messages and calls to everybody that matters related to it, and they all said it's not happening. Manchester City are very confident that it's not happening. So there you are, that's it. When will Klopp leave Liverpool? Is Sayari saying. How long will he manage Liverpool? Next football club for him. I discussed this with Raphael Honigstein, who of course is his biographer, and he's doing an update of his book. So as you can imagine, he's spoken to him, and he was quite optimistic in terms of why only 7 years? Why not go beyond that? Still got 3 more years left to get to those 7 years, but he's so comfortable, he's so happy. Even from there is nothing else for him. He's mentioned that in the past. 7 years at Liverpool and that's it. Maybe 10 years at Liverpool. What's quite clear is that he's very comfortable. He's very happy, as you'll see in the interview that I did with him. We went through the semi-finals in detail. Honestly, it's a fascinating chat. Melad Kareme says, is there any particular reason the Barcelona president and board don't fire Valverde? Can they not see the longer they keep him around, the more unpopular they themselves become to the fans? Are they? Because he could win the cup, so that would be 2 doubles, league and cup. I understand the Champions League is important. There's been a big backing yesterday from Bartomeu and Valverde because he's added common sense to this kind of feelings. Fans may have feelings, of course they do, but they think that Valverde brings stability. The hope is, of course, that now that the Premier League teams are going 200 miles an hour and Barcelona is still going 50 miles an hour, that bringing the young, they're trying to get the Ligt, of course, and Griezmann will just give new blood to the side. I don't know if that's enough. I don't really know if that's enough. It may not be. But in any case, Valverde will stay in charge. Marco is saying, what are your thoughts on the EL final, the European League final being played in Baku and all the issues surrounding it? So often I've been saying the authorities have not listened to the fans. You know the stories about the European League, of course the issues surrounding Baku, it's not thinking of the fans. The fans have not been organised either. They should find a way to create a forum in which all those problems could be predicted and they could be, part of the discussion. It's so important that fans are organised now. So important, because in 2024, from 2024, football will look very different in terms of competitions and the calendar itself. So, time to organise yourselves. Tommy AFC says, do you believe Raul Sanyi when he says that he has ammunition in the transfer window and who could Arsenal buy? Of course, I believe him. Would that be enough? We will see. I said it before, it's so surprising that Arsenal may have, I don't know, say £50 million, depending on sales and of course that selling players will add to it. But so little, with so much money coming in. There's other debts to pay, of course. Will that be enough? Arsenal, it's in a transition. You cannot expect Arsenal to win the league next season. And I think more and more fans are understanding that there is a transformation of the club and that will require time and money and backing from the club, of course, which Unai feels that if the signings have been done early, what you will get is a stronger squad, but it has to be early. Director of football is too late for this one. Probably they will just, I imagine, they park that for after the summer because whatever decisions have to be taken now. Which team do you support in La Liga? Kwame Paddy is asking in Premier League. I'm a Beaglesborough United fan, as well as the chairman. I'm an Espanyol fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. Don't want to hide it. I don't need to hide it. It doesn't blur my judgment, but I enjoy when Liverpool win things. Now in this Champions League final, on the other hand, I've become also a bit of a Spurs fan. So I think I'm going to win in the Champions League. Benjamin is saying, is Neymar staying at PSG long term? It's been an interesting week or so at PSG, because Mbappe has put out there the idea that he wants more responsibility and kind of a veiled threat saying, otherwise I'll go. I think he's going to stay, so is Neymar. Long term we will see, because somebody has to take them out of here, out of PSG. But I think Real Madrid are going to try. This year they will make noise about Mbappe. I think he's staying. Next year is when they will just go really strong on Mbappe, not so much Neymar. So where will Neymar go otherwise? Right now it seems like PSG is his only possibility. And I don't see him coming to the Premier League at all, which are the ones that could actually offer him, money-wise anyway, a possibility to come out of PSG. So that's it for now. Time to do all the stuff. But thank you for listening. And remember, there's going to be a lot of stuff you're going to enjoy on the YouTube channel, on the Champions League final. So subscribe and also do the notifications thing if you can. If you would. Thank you. Bye.